Good morning, students. Today we will see about CNS, and CNS we will see about synapse. So basically, what is synapse? So synapse is nothing but it is a functional communicating junction between two different nerve cells. I repeat, it is a functional communicating junction between two nerve cells. So whenever the one nerve cell and other nerve cells are connected with each other through this synapse. So if you see the types, there are two types. One is anatomical type, depend on its structure. And second one is according to the function, it is called as functional types. So anatomical types, there are three different types. If you see the anatomy of neurons, so basically we have a neuron. Now neurons have a three different parts in the body. One is called as body, cell or soma. Second one is axon, and third one is dendroids. Okay, this is how the structural unit of neuron. Now if you see the types of synapse, so depends on that which part is connecting to which part, because already we know that synapse is a communicating between two neurons. So it will be divided in three different parts. Number one is axodendroid. So the name itself, it is a connection between the axon of one neuron and dendroid of other neuron, that is called axodendroid synapse. Second one is axosomatic synapse, that is between the axons of one neuron, and soma means body, somatic, so body of other neuron. There is a connection between these two, that is called axosomatic synapse. And third one is an axonic synapse. So axon of one neuron is communicated with axons of other neuron through this synapse, that is called axonic synapse. Now according to the physiology, it can be divided in three different parts. So that will be again, number one is a chemical, number two is electrical, and third one is conjoint, that is a combinations of both. So chemical, so what that is does, so by the use of neurotransmitters that follows in a one direction and transmitting the new message, that is called as chemical synapse. The electrical synapse, that is a transmission through the gap junction on both the direction. So whenever two neurons are connected and there is a certain amount of gap, that is around 30 nanometers, and the gap is connected or transmitted through this junction through this electrical senses, that is known as electrical synapse. And conjuncts will include the both electrical as well as chemical coexist together. Now we will see first one is what is chemical synapse, that is structures, function, inhibition and process of sleep. So if you see the structure of chemical synapse, so basically there are five different things. Number one is synaptic knob or synaptic button. Number two is presynaptic membrane. Number three is synaptic cleft. Number fourth is postsynaptic membrane, postsynaptic process, and number fifth is postsynaptic membrane. So each one you will see in detail. For one, synaptic knob or buttons. So when axon loses its myelin sheath and end to a small swelling like knob, which contains mitochondria and neurotransmitter in their vesicles, and which are of two different types. Either is circular, which is excitatory, and if it is flat, then it is inhibitory in function and transported by the microtubules. So in a nutshell, the synaptic knob is a axon when axon loses the myelin sheath and into the small swelling, which is known as the synaptic knob, and which contains mitochondria. Second one is synaptic membrane, presynaptic membrane. So inner side zone of the dense cytoplasm, and this form the presynaptic vesicular grid, like how we have a grid. Okay, so that will be again content or the zone of dense cytoplasm. The third one is the synaptic cleft itself. So the gap between pre and post neurons, or pre and post this synapse, which is wide around 20 to 40 nanometer and contain the ECF with glycoproteins. What is ECF? That is electron inductive force. So the gap between pre and post will be considered as synaptic cleft. Now fourth one is post-synaptic process, that the region of receiving the neurons from where we are getting the signals or we are getting the connected of the neurons. So it is also contains of the dense cytoplasm, and along with that there is a receptor for proteins outside in the cleft and neurotransmitter attached to these receptors. What are the receptors? The receptors can be of ionic channel receptors and enzymatic receptors. In ionic channel receptors there will be sodium, potassium and chloride, which activate causing the opening of this channel, while enzymatic neuroproteins or receptors, which are activations of cellular gene and activations of protein kinase. So if we see difference between both of that, so in type 1 the structure will be asymmetrical, while type 2 structure will be symmetrical. Synaptic cleft will be wider in type 1 and type 2 it will be narrow. Postsynaptic membrane thickening will be marked in type 1 and there will be less marked or thin in the type 2. ECF in cleft will be present in type 1 and absent in type 2. Vesicle shape will be spherical in type 1 and flat in the type 2. Neurotransmitter will be acetylcholine, glutamate, dopamine and adrenaline, while in case of type 2 that will be glycine and GABA. Effect will be excitatory in type 1 and type 2 will be inhibitory. Type of synapse will be exodentronic in type 1 and exosomatic in type 2. Now release of the process of chemical in the for transmission, or we can say the synaptic transmission, how it will happen. So first of all, release of the neurotransmitters depends on the different type, either 1 or 2. Then there will be development of this gap, and the polarization will happen, and that will be crossing the membrane and reaching to the next level or next neuron. Okay, and removal of this neurotransmitter from synaptic cleft and development of action potential. Again I will repeat, and the release of the neurotransmission which will develop the gap, and through which the removal of neurotransmitter or release of the neurotransmitter from the synaptic cleft, which help to development of action potential. So what are the neurotransmitter release? So already we know that type 1 and type 2 have a different kind of neurotransmitter, and which getting released and reaches to the nerve terminal, and through the depolarization of the presynaptic membrane, voltage gated calcium channel will open up and calcium permeability will increase and calcium will enter inside the nerve, and this is how the transmission will happen. Now if you see that Dell's phenomena, here the calcium level in the axon exhausts the sides of vesicles releasing neurotransmitter into the cleft. So calcium will release the neurotransmitter in the axons, and there will be again kiss and run discharge of neurotransmission, and first pronounced by the Dell. That's why it is called as Dell's phenomena. So development of EPSP, that will be a depolarization of postsynaptic membrane by neurotransmitter, that is called glutamate. Magnitude will be 8 millivolt and latency will be 0.5 millisecond. Now ionic basis. So neurotransmission bind to the receptor protein, open link potassium and calcium channel. Potassium will diffuse in depolarized membrane and conduction of EPSP and passively due to local current. Now if we see the summation, so summation of two type, that will be temporal and spatial. So this is how the different amount of transmissions between the two nerves will happen, depends on the different amount of ionic basis and conduction of EPSP. This is how the normal transmission is happening in the synapse. Summation is also one part of that. So if you see the summation, there will be temporal and spatial. Temporal, when the repeated stimuli is applied in a short duration, then you will have a temporal summation, while spatial will be when postsynaptic membrane receive the impulses and simultaneously from large number of presynaptic terminals. So temporal will be when we have a repeated stimuli for short period of time. For spatial, there will be a postsynaptic memory receive the impulses simultaneously from the large number of presynaptic terminals. It does not show all or none responses. That is called as summation. Okay, this is how the development of summation is happening.